What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our late night Anfield Agenda news roundup, where we're going to be giving you, amongst other things, Arne Slot's most special moment of the season. We're going to be linking Cole Palmer to Liverpool. Well, not us directly, but there are reports suggesting that an inquiry has been made. We're going to be talking about Dean Huijsen and why it looks like Liverpool is his favourite destination. That and a few other interesting bits and pieces to come. Tomorrow we will be live at the same time at 8:45. We hope to see you there. But until then, let's get cracking with the news and get stuck in. So this piece on Arne Slot and his most special moment this season, this is what our gaffer had to say. I cannot pick one, but if I really have to, I think the moment after conceding the 1-1 against West Ham, where everybody probably felt, oh, this is going to be difficult, maybe even bring a 1-1 over the line. Then the team stepped up, the fans stepped up for 2 minutes, and they were just flying at that moment. As a result of that, we got a corner kick when Virgil scored the goal. The emotions that ran through him, through the stadium, through the staff, through everyone, that was a beautiful moment. But I hope the most beautiful one is still to come. It is, Arne. That beautiful moment will be, well, it will either be at the end of the season when you actually get to lift that Premier League trophy, or on Sunday inside Anfield, where hopefully the Reds get to celebrate it. Remember, it's just 1 point needed for the Reds this weekend. Arsenal's draw against Crystal Palace means that a draw against Spurs, or better, would see Liverpool crowned Premier League champions for the second time, league title winners for the 20th time, and to just rubber stamp that we are the most successful club in English football history. So, we've heard from the manager. Now let's talk a little bit about Dean Huijsen and his camp. So we've seen mixed reports today again to say that there's no real front runners here. Chelsea are in the mix, Arsenal are in the mix, but Dean Jones Soccer kind of backs up what I've been saying, which is Liverpool are confident of striking a deal for Dean Huijsen, having held positive talks with his agent, and there's optimism. Huijsen's camp view Anfield as the likely destination. I did say this in a video, an exclusive video, 3 or 4 days ago, and again I'm going to stand over exactly that. Nobody can tell 100% where a player is going to go, but that does tally with exactly what I've said. I don't have my source from the Liverpool side, but I do believe that his camp look at Liverpool as the best destination. Also important to remind everybody here of what Florian Plettenberg said earlier on today, that everybody's aware that the release clause in Huijsen's contract doesn't necessarily have to be triggered and paid all up front in one go. It can be split over 3 installments, meaning it is far more achievable for clubs. And also for Liverpool, it would mean we don't have to commit a wholesale amount of money to one player in this window. Like, as an example, when we signed Dominic Szoboszlai, we had to trigger the clause and play it in one go. This would allow Liverpool some more breathing room financially, and breathing room is what we already have actually PSR-wise, but hopefully this could lead to even stronger business from the Reds this summer. So for me, not going to sit here and tell you Huijsen is 100% coming, but I do feel like we are leading the bunch at the minute, and certainly from the players' camp, it's the most likely destination, and you can understand why. We don't know what's happening with Canade, and we don't know what's happening with Kwanzaa. What we do know is we've got Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk. The other two gents' futures are up in the air, but Dean Huijsen can look at that situation and think, right, I get to go in there, play alongside Virgil van Dijk, learn from him, be developed at Liverpool, get game time, which he would get, and hopefully pick up some silverware. Other clubs, Arsenal, yes, they could maybe offer him a good chance to challenge for titles. Champions League football, which is what Chelsea can't guarantee him at this point. So yeah, let me know what you think. But again, Dean Jones and Give Me Sport saying that Liverpool are confident of striking a deal for Huijsen, and that his representative or his camps view Anfield as the likely destination. So 177 million. Why did I randomly just throw that number at you? Well, Dave O.C. Kopp has said that that is what is believed Liverpool will earn from winning the Premier League this season in total, between the equal prize money that gets shared out, between the television revenue, the bonus for winning the Premier League. It's a rather healthy amount of money, and one that will hopefully be put to good use. Now let's talk about Luis Diaz for a second, and shout out to Anfield Edition who posted this from Who Scored. Luis Diaz is the most informed player in the Premier League. This is the form rankings from the last 6 games, and we'll work from the bottom up. James Tarkowski had a score of 7.28. Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United, 7.32. Yuri Tielemans of Aston Villa, 7.37. Ray Knight Nuri of Wolves, 7.38. Alexis McAllister of our own parish with 7.39. Omar Marmoush of Manchester City, 7.39 as well. Brian Mbuemo, who's had a very good season there, along with Vissa as well, with a score of 7.41. Then we come to the top three. Harvey Barnes of Newcastle with a score of 7.67. And look, I've mentioned a few times over the last week quite what progress he's made and why that could lead to a move for Anthony Gordon for us. Second on the list, another Newcastle player, Jacob Murphy, with a score of 7.73. But top of the form rankings from the last 6 games in the Premier League is Luis Diaz of Liverpool. And it kind of makes you scratch your head even further as to why he could potentially be sold this summer. The last story is the biggest one of the night, and the one that I'm finding the most difficult to really come to terms with and think that there's any credibility to, but got to report it. Caught Offside have said, breaking, Liverpool are exploring a shock move for Chelsea's Cole Palmer, and another Premier League club have also inquired recently. So the piece basically suggests that Chelsea would be open to the idea of Cole Palmer being sold for the right money. That money would have to be very, very big money, and that the player himself, maybe with no Champions League football on the horizon or guaranteed yet, could be open to the idea. Do I think Liverpool would go to Chelsea and pay what it would take to get Cole Palmer? Absolutely not. I would imagine you're talking a fee in excess of 100 million. But also, and this is probably the most important part, I don't think he's the best fit for Liverpool Football Club. He's a talented footballer. I'm not going to sit here and say otherwise. And yes, he's still developing. Second half of the season, his form's been horrendous. But I think the likes of a Morgan Rogers at Aston Villa would be maybe more attainable and certainly a better fit for what we're looking to do, which is get that creativity in the area where Dominic Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott operate. We need somebody in there with a little bit more attacking flair perhaps, and who can cover across the front line, which Morgan Rogers can do. So for me, I just don't think there's any real truth to this Cole Palmer stuff, but it would be an incredible story if he does look to leave Chelsea in this transfer window. I mean, best guess of where he ends up, feel free to let me know. Manchester City's name has even been mentioned with bringing him back to City, so who knows at this point. For me though, I do think if Aston Villa miss out on the Champions League, they may have to start tinkering around a little bit with their budget, and that could see us make a play for Morgan Rogers. It would see them make a very healthy profit as well. I think they paid 8 rising to 15 million when they bought him from Middlesbrough, and now they could probably look at a fee of about 60 to 70 million pounds. So I'd prefer him over Cole Palmer personally, but let me know what you guys think about this one in the comment section. Do you believe this story in any way, shape or form around Cole Palmer? And most importantly though, do you think he'd be a good fit for Liverpool? Because I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm open to it. Right, ladies and gents, that is it from me for the night, but I will see you guys tomorrow, 8:45 for the late night agenda. Again, if you want to come and see us in Liverpool for either of our end of season shows, you can get your tickets with a link in the description, and we'll talk soon. Much love. Bye-bye.